comfortable in the cart? Ella?
Not Ella. Ella's gone. And Cruella's back!
Hey guys, welcome to Get Busy Watching. I'm your host, Honest Dan. Let's talk movies.
Relax, be cool, 'cause if you don't, you'll act like a fool, so be cool.
For context, I ordered this on April 4th. It was supposed to arrive late April or sometime in the teens of May. It is currently May 29th. That's when it arrived. I'm wearing this. This was supposed to be worn for my Mortal Kombat review, obviously, but it obviously didn't arrive by then, so I'm gonna wear this and none of you can stop me. Disney's other obsession these days, turning their most celebrated villains into misunderstood heroes. I may have found the idea slightly interesting when they made Maleficent, but I have to be honest, it's because I don't have any particular attachment to the character as a villain, i.e., I've never seen Sleeping Beauty. I feel like I'm missing out too, but it's just one of those random classics that I've somehow gone 30 plus years having never seen. In any case, even when Maleficent did it, I knew it was a flawed film that didn't always make sense. I didn't mind it at the time because I thought Angelina Jolie was a dead ringer for the part and had a cute moment or two. But even as someone who's never seen the original movie, I could tell that there was something not right about this. I mean, it was okay, but once I started hearing enough people going, "I've seen Wicked too, I've seen Once Upon a Time too," suddenly, oh yeah, I've seen Wicked and Once Upon a Time, up until season 5 or 6 anyway. Wicked was fun. Once Upon a Time overstayed its welcome, and it's probably that bitter aftertaste that ruined my appetite for revamps of classic characters, and I'd rather see them done justice or in better movies. Years later, here we are with another following in the footsteps of Maleficent, Cinderella, and Alice Through the Looking Glass. Are we done yet? Is there a light at the end of this tunnel? Oh God. Oh no. No. These things are always successful, so there's always, inevitably, going to be a sequel. There is no light at the end of the tunnel. There is only black. And there's no thought ever put into these movies. There is no thought in the black. Modern Disney is death. This is my honest opinion of Cruella. I need a minute. Set in the 1970s, young Estella, played by Tipper Seifert Cleveland, is a smart but troublesome girl who has caused enough problems for her loving mother Catherine, played by Emily Beecham, that they must move to the city. However, she stops to see an old friend, and Estella inadvertently causes her death by alerting the guard dogs who attack Catherine, causing her to fall off a cliff to her death. Now an orphan, Estella, played by Emma Stone, has been living the life of a petty thief alongside fellow petty thieves Jasper, played by Joel Fry, and Horace, played by Paul Walter Hauser. However, Estella's dreams of becoming a fashion designer are set in motion when she attracts the attention of the ruthless fashion guru known simply as the Baroness, played by Emma Thompson. But just as Estella begins to find her place and get recognized for her talents, secrets are revealed and send Estella over the edge.
What was your name?
Cruella.
Oh.
Kind of hard to talk in this thing. It exists. Like, it's not the most offensive thing that God Emperor Disney has put out, but I'm going to forget it within a week, and it's going to be forgotten about in, like, probably about as long. Starting with the positives, I like Emma Stone. Well, she seldom churns out a poor performance anyway. Need an adorable, well-rounded actress to bring charm to a role? Stone's a surefire bet to pull it off.
Oh, my arm. I think it's broken. Is there a doctor? No, actually, it's fine.
The acting in general is fine. Emma Thompson as the villain is certainly charismatic, and she's the only one who truly acts like Cruella, even though she herself is not Cruella.
You're a fool. That girl put together a better window display than I've seen here for 10 years.
Yeah.
Frian Hauser as Jasper and Horace are fine. Maybe Horace is written to be just a little too dumb at times, but, you know, they're serviceable. They exist.
So, this was the angle then.
I will admit that my favorite part of the movie is the fashion sense, especially on Cruella. The styles get pretty outrageous, and I mean that in the best possible way. This movie was always going to have to bring fashion to the forefront, and the costume designers spared no expense. I gotta say, my favorite has to be the over-the-top garbage setup. That legit had me in splinters and awe all at once. Yeah, that's kind of all I had in terms of positives. So, let's talk shit. Starting off easy, I hate to walk back on certain positives, but then again, leave it to God Emperor Disney to make a movie where even the positive elements are interwoven with some negativity. I feel like the acting isn't anything special. Yes, everyone's fine, but nobody really stands out, or gives a performance that I've seen in better movies. Emma Thompson as the tough lady boss? Been there. Emma Stone as the protagonist who just needs one chance to prove herself? Done that. At the end of the day, their charisma may have elevated their roles, but I couldn't help but ask myself, could anyone have played these roles and done it just as well?
I guess you must hate her.
Honestly, I'm conflicted.
I would also swear to God that this movie somehow knows that it's not that good, and it's doing the Guardians of the Galaxy thing by throwing a ton of licensed music at the audience. One after another relentlessly, and most, if not all of it, is completely unnecessary. By the way, this is not a crack on Guardians of the Galaxy. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. They at least knew what kind of licensed music to throw at you and how to do it. There was nuance to their choices. I'm calling BS on this. There is no Nicholas Britell working on this music. It's all the Zombies, Nancy Sinatra, Nina Simone, Deep Purple, Electric Light Orchestra, Rose Royce, Blondie, The Clash, The Rolling Stones, and these are just the ones that I caught. Who knows how many I missed? Britell, either you composed something awful and the higher-ups wanted to mask it, or you were thrown under the 1000th volume of Now.
Quiet. Please, make it stop.
Hey filmmakers, Anita's last name wasn't Darling. When Cruella says Anita darling, it's used as a term of endearment. Like there's a comma in between Anita and Darling, and Darling is lowercase. Why? Why did you have to change that? And what's with the Dalmatian hate? All the Dalmatians in this movie are vicious man-killers. And why at the end does Roger start composing his famous Cruella de Vil song? If she doesn't scare you, no evil thing will. According to this movie, Cruella is not that evil.
You didn't.
I didn't. But people do need a villain to believe in, so I'm happy to fit the bill.
She's misunderstood. And did she not just give both Roger and Anita Puppy Pongo and Puppy Purdy? That doesn't sound like an evil person to me. I want a Dalmatian puppy. Just why? 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 You want to know why? Because there is no God. There is only God Emperor Disney, and God Emperor Disney represents death, oh God. Okay, so I know that poliosis is a thing, the condition where you're born with patches of white or gray hair while maintaining your natural hair color, but I have a couple of issues with this. One, it's either hereditary, which Cruella clearly didn't get from her mother, or happens alongside Piebaldism, sorry if I mispronounced that, which again, her mother doesn't have. There doesn't seem to be a genetic possibility for Cruella to have her natural black and white hair. Also, I think it would make more sense if the dual hair colors were a choice. It's the fashion world. Out-of-the-norm hairstyles tend to go hand in hand with out-of-the-norm clothing. Besides, having the hair colors be a choice would at least inspire creativity, confidence, and the boldness to stand out, which I imagine would be a far greater lesson to teach little girls, rather than be born with a cute genetic abnormality to exploit the crap out of.
From the very beginning, I've always made a statement.
Your hair, is it real?
Like my ball. I like to make an impact.
But the cardinal sin of this movie? I'm not interested. What is this movie at the end of the day? Poor white girl wants to learn from a mean rich white woman so she in turn can become a mean rich white woman. Being ambitious is fine. Having a dream to be wealthy when you come from a place of poverty is fine. But Cruella's ascent to high society has been through drunken mishaps, putting up with verbal abuse, only to shift gears and make it about being more ruthless than the other ruthless woman.
You didn't need guns, or money, or even numbers. You just needed the will to do what the other guy wouldn't.
She didn't accumulate her status through hard work with a desire to create a fashion empire that treated its employees with dignity and give the wide-eyed upstarts a true chance to prove themselves. If this interpretation of Cruella was meant to be the same as Glenn Close's, this would make sense, and probably would make a better movie. Yeah, sure, it's not like the Baroness didn't have it coming. Lord knows that entitled, high and mighty, rich and powerful people need to be taken down a notch or two, but I personally would have preferred that story in something better than this.
Me, him, you, but we've always been there for each other.
That's all I'm asking. Is it so hard to back me up?
No, not Estella, that's easy, but to help Cruella?
I just don't care for it. Other than the fashion sense, which I do admit is its greatest attribute, the constant narration throughout the movie drove me nuts. The choices made with Cruella as a character were quite baffling. Actually, choices in general throughout the movie were quite confusing. But fine, why should I be critical? God Emperor Disney has long since given up caring about their classic properties, treating its audience with respect, and making good movies. So maybe I set the bar so low that no matter how bad this really is, it couldn't possibly upset me because Disney has long since stopped raising the bar for themselves, and it's not my job to raise it for them. Is it the worst? No. But it's not worth it. I don't recommend it. Oh, and yes, I would rather watch 102 Dalmatians. My honest rating for Cruella, a weak 3 out of 5.
Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Well, I'd like to add one more. Revenge.
Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it. Have a great day. Stay safe and healthy out there. Hope to see you soon.
Just relax. So be cool.